There are a lot of big question marks when it comes to Marvel Studios' multiverse and of course Earth 838, which we saw in Doctor Strange 2. Sure, that universe has their own Earth's Mightiest Heroes, aka the Illuminati, but one member of the team seems to have been missing, and many fans are confused as to why exactly that chair was empty and who was in it. Well, now we get a tease, and it's just a tease, unfortunately. So when it comes to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and what they did with Earth 838 is really interesting, giving us a version of the Avengers that's obviously somewhat similar but completely different at the same time. You have your familiars, the first Avenger for example, Captain America aka Captain Carter, but then it takes a huge different shift with characters we've never seen before in the MCU proper, such as Mr. Fantastic, of course Professor X, and a notable one that I guess you could argue whether we've seen him or not, is of course Black Bolt of the Inhumans. So recently, speaking with The Hollywood Reporter, Michael Waldron, the writer of Doctor Strange, who's been making his way around Marvel Studios and of course trying to connect the dots and talk about how they're connecting all these pieces of the multiverse together, was asked if he could address the lingering questions, specifically who the missing member of the Illuminati was, because again, if you count the chairs there's one missing. Somebody doesn't show up. And he says that it's just one of these unanswered questions that he unfortunately cannot answer. But he says maybe that was just a mistake that the person designing the set that one day overlooked and they never removed it in post-production or noticed it. Now let's just take a step back and say that that's a lie. We literally know they account for everything, and they literally scrub the trailers and pictures with fake versions to put out there to throw people off. So nobody missed it. It's deliberate. Whoever that character was, we didn't see them because they didn't make it into the final version of the film. There's plenty of rumors to suggest that it was the superior Iron Man, played by Tom Cruise, or even Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, or one of the other Fox X-Men characters. We don't really know. What's important is that character is still out there. They're alive. So if we ever get back to this universe, we might actually see that character. And something that makes me believe this is obviously the leftover chair that's never filled. Because again, that's a leftover plot thread. That's something you can go back to and explore again. Maybe in Doctor Strange 3, we get back to that universe and we see a new version of the Illuminati, and whoever the missing member was is now the new leader. And maybe that's Tony Stark, and that's interesting. So I definitely believe that they knew who it was. They just decided to leave that there as a dangling thread that they can get back to, because that's what the MCU does. They're literally built on that, about talking about things just like this and trying to spin theories and then hopefully having those theories be right. And if they're wrong, then people are disappointed. But either way though, it drives, I guess, interest to whatever the final result is.